So let's say you decided, hey, you know what? I've been driving the truck for a while. I saved some money and I want to buy a truck and I want my own tag and my own sticker on the side of my door. What do I need to get that going? Let's talk about it. First, let's talk about the benefits of why one would want to open their own authority when you can just easily lease onto somebody. Let me save you the trouble of going through this whole video and listening to this whole thing. If your only goal is to save 12%, that 12% that carriers charge you to lease onto their company, my suggestion to you is just go ahead and sign up with them. That 12% is nothing compared to the kind of headache you're going to go through being a one man show or woman's show. So, yes, if your plan is to own just one truck, one unit, one trailer, and that is all you want to do, you are better off signing up with somebody else. You're probably going like, man, this guy makes absolutely no sense because number one, he just opened his own authority. He just got authorized per property. He's paying all his doggone insurance and he's over here on camera telling people not to open their own authority. One of the reasons why I say do not open your own trucking company if you're just going to be a one truck operation. One of the main reasons is a lot of these big companies, they are established. They have their own accounts. They have customers, direct customers. Boy, them shocks be looking good. I love it when you have some nice shiny things. I have a friend of mine that I know personally that just recently went with Landstar and he is loving it down there. He is making a lot of money. He's making a lot more money when he was on his own. The reason for that is because when he was on his own, he was on the load board. If you remember the last video, if you haven't seen that video already, go check it out right here. But last video, I talked about if you're gonna be on strictly load board only, you're gonna have a hard time. Now, despite all of the negative things I'm talking about when you're opening your own, but you still wanna go get your own MC, stick around. Let's talk about it. The number one reason why you would open your own as a single owner operator or single man operation or woman operation is freedom. That freedom gives you the flexibility of growing your company, adding on trucks, adding on owner operators. It even allows you to bid on your own contract. Basically, what I'm saying is that the sky's the limit when you're on your own. So, after all of that, if that is something that you really want to do, you really want to get your own stickers, your own tags, here are some of the things you need to get started. Oh, by the way, I'm here at the truck. I was supposed to be working on the truck, but man, it's so freaking cold. I don't know if you can see it, but there's snow up there in them stinking mountains. Like it's literally white out there. What I'm supposed to be doing right now is I'm supposed to be working on that shock, man. It's just I'm gonna have to try to figure out what we're gonna do with these shocks because once we get the tags, we gotta get rolling, you know? So I'm not gonna get too technical with some of the things you need to get started to be on your own as an owner operator. If I was to start over again, this is the process that I would take to get my authority active and going. First thing I would do is I would have a plan. My plan would be like to have some type of budget, right? And that budget should include the type of truck that you want and what kind of budget you want to work with and what kind of price range you want to go with. Do you want to go with brand new? You want to go with used? Once you figure out the type of truck you want, the kind of price range you want, you say you got your set on something nice, you know, you got the value of that truck. You grab the VIN of that truck. There's nothing wrong with getting the VIN number of that truck. And then what you want to do is shop around for insurance. There's nothing wrong with getting quotes. Now, once you get all of that started, right? You got you found the truck, you got your insurance. What you want to do now is you want to go ahead and get your state business license and also get your MC and DOT started with the FMCSA. Now, with the type of business license, man, listen, like I said, I'm not going to go too in depth into this because I'm not such an expert on things like what type of business you should be getting. But me, I grab an LLC. When it comes to the FMCSA, when you're opening your own authority and getting your own DOT number and MC number, listen to me carefully. You make sure you take your time. Take your time, read the material. They have question mark for everything, and you can it easily tells you what it defines or what it's for, what the purpose of that is. Because that's the last thing you want to do is make mistake and try to fix it later. So let's say after you got done with the FMCSA, you got your DOT number and you got your MC number. You're gonna get those in the mail. You're gonna get a letter of authority that saying that you're authorizing you to be able to operate, but you cannot operate just yet. If you look up your DOT number on Safer website, Company Safer snapshot, you will not see that it will say on there that it's saying not authorized in red. For you to get authorized, you're gonna need insurance. That's why you started that process to get insurance quote. Like once you get issued your authority, your MC, you only have a certain amount of time to make sure you get that insured, right? Make sure you get it, you get that insurance quote and whatever you agreed upon, and then they send that information over to the FMCSA and get you insured. So let's say you got you insured and everything is going smooth. In the meantime, what I would do is go to ucr.gov. I'm gonna go ahead and go get my UCR registration and also my BOC3 registration, and also I would be looking into the clearinghouse. Clearinghouse is a whole nother thing, man, because within clearinghouse you have to make sure you get your drug and alcohol consortium. So you have to sign up with these people that are authorized by the FMCSA to have a drug and alcohol consortium. The drug and alcohol consortium, basically all that is a random test. So you don't have to be if you're only a single operator, owner operator, or let's say you have 5 drivers, you don't have 5 drivers in there and you're randomly selecting those people to get drug tests. Then you're gonna be taking drug tests the whole year, you know? But what the consortium does, the drug and alcohol consortium does, they put together all of these owner operators. There might be like 50,000 of them or whatever, right? And then they randomly select people from there to take drug tests. But within the clearinghouse, inside the clearinghouse, you have to do these things they call query, right? I'm not gonna go too deep into it. So you buy these queries and then you have to do a pre-employment query. Basically, the query is it's like a currency inside the clearinghouse. So you buy certain amount of queries, and then you send a query for pre-employment, and that query gets sent to your drug and alcohol consortium, and then they send out the drug test, the pre-employment test towards you, and then I mean it's just a whole bunch of mess, really. Now, while you're doing all of this, you should be looking into spending the most money that you will ever spend on taking on this venture, which is buying this son of a gun, go getting you one of these doggone things, because without this, right, how you gonna operate? See, if you buy one of these, let's just say you bought one from the auction, you bought it cash, right? Once you get it to your home state, wherever that is, right? Like for example, Nevada is gonna charge me tax on this because they didn't charge me tax at the auction, sales tax when I bought the truck, right? Sales, I should. Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean it's not that much of a difference, right? But once you get it to your home state, they're gonna charge you state tax for it. At least for mine, for me in Nevada. Along with that, they also have this thing they call 2290. Now, 2290 is an IRS form, right? You have to pay taxes on these uh, heavy. It's called heavy highway use tax, right? I think that's what it's called. Anyway, It's a tax that you pay for this truck for the certain amount of gross weight that you are rolling down the road. Oh man, it is so cold outside. I have no idea what is going on with Nevada or with Las Vegas at least. So now that you bought the truck, right? You bought the truck, you're gonna get it home. One thing I would say, like, it's kind of a like a hush hush thing, you know. I would not suggest it, but if you have to, drive the truck at night. You know, if it's from out of state, drive it at night. Because technically, you're supposed to have insurance when you're rolling down the road, right? And they have insurance out there. They have insurance that you can purchase temporarily. I will tell you, when I bought my first truck, I did not have none of that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I took that truck home from Texas, from the auction in Texas, and brought it here to Nevada with zero permits. Oh, wait a minute. I bought one permit in New Mexico because I knew New Mexico is always open as far as their port of entries. Listen, I'm not telling you to do some illegal stuff. I'm not advocating that whatsoever. You know, make sure you do the right thing. That's all I'm going to say about that. So let's say you got the truck home and you got it home legally. And now you have to get it registered. Before you can get the truck registered, there's certain states that require you. They require you to check your VIN number. So it's what they call VIN verification. You got to get the VIN verified, and a lot. They have certain DMVs, like in my state, in the state of Nevada, they have places where you can bring the vehicle in. It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle. It doesn't have to be a semi. They have this thing they call VIN verification, and I think there's only like 9 states that don't do it. Anyway, um, you get the VIN verified, and then they check it. They give you a form, and then they check your documentations, and then you take that onto the DMV for you to get registered. So now that you have your plates, everything is good to go. You are ready to roll. You are ready to take on the world, right? As an owner operator, fully, fully independent from anybody else. Now you want to sign up for a load board. And then you figure out, damn, I just made a mistake. All jokes aside, the reason why I said I just made a mistake because the rates on the load board look like crap, right? But like I said, go back to that $940 billion industry. This is a $940 billion industry. Even the load board will get you things like this. You know what I mean? So you can't just rely on something that you see firsthand experience, right? You have the trucking industry is like you have to you have to look at the trucking industry as an owner operator is in the long run. The long run is what matters the most. You have to establish your rate per mile, whatever that is, you know, your operating rate per mile or whatever, and your uh, whatever you're willing to haul for as far as rate wise, you know, where once you figure out your operating costs rate per mile, then you can figure out how much you want to charge and what kind of rates you want to take as far as like from the load board or whatever, right? I did break down my operating costs on my last truck. This truck right here, you haven't gotten that yet. We haven't been there yet because I mean we haven't even ran 1 mile on this truck yet that you know that makes us money. That video is in the channel and I'm gonna go ahead and link it just so you can go check it out if you wanted to. I'm gonna leave you with this. Always, always look at trucking in the long term. It doesn't matter if you're gonna stay in it short term, always look at it in the long term. Until next time, we will see ya.